qualifying. Esteban Ocon, 20th, and ahead of his teammate Pascal Wehrlein. Kevin Magnussen, next across the line, can't get out of Q1. His teammate Jolyon Palmer, currently 15th fastest as it stands and progressing through. The headline here, Jenson Button at Suzuka, knocked out in Q1.
And the other McLaren Honda 16th and just in by 0.04 of a second over his teammate.
Real disappointment for the 2009 world champion. Jenson Button is out along with Kevin Magnussen, the two Saubers of Ericsson and Nasser, and the two Manners of Ocon and Wehrlein.
So that's his race tyres if this remains his fastest lap. Will he feel the need to go again though? Hülkenberg complaining of understeer, but how has he been on this lap? A personal best middle sector that shouldn't be too shabby when he gets over the line.
Which he does, yep, 7th for him. That pushes Felipe Massa out of qualifying. He hasn't made it to Q3, and there's a yellow flag because Carlos Sainz has had a spin at Spoon.
He just dropped his right rear wheel onto the artificial grass and the concrete curbing, and around he went. Unusual to see young Sainz making fundamental errors.
Perez goes 10th fastest, both Williams knocked out in Q2. And significantly, in the Constructors' Championship battle, it's the two Force Indias that knock out the two Williams. Force India with a 3-point lead in that Constructors' Championship scrap for 4th. Williams failing to reach Q3 for the 3rd time this year, and 2 of which in the last 2 races. But both Haas cars through to Q3 for the first time in their history.
If you look to the top 14, they are literally 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. There we go. Spot the braking point right at the end, and you come in from the outside of the track, clump across the curbs, try to just balance the throttle.
It's a really good middle sector from Ricciardo, and he's made up the 10th, and on his teammate a 1:31.2. So that's the time for the rest to aim at. Here comes Verstappen, never been on pole before. He's on provisional pole for the time being, though, by a few hundredths of a second. Verstappen continues his advantage over Ricciardo. He's shown in all 3 sessions so far, and then Kimi Raikkonen says, I'll have a bit of this myself. Provisional pole for Kimi Raikkonen. Now, how hot is this battle shaping up to be? Rosberg by a couple of tenths now takes provisional pole himself. And we all turn to the top of the hill and look for Lewis Hamilton, who comes around the final corner now. Pole position is now his for the time being. It was Ricciardo's, was Verstappen, was Raikkonen's, was Rosberg's. It is Hamilton's at the moment, and Sebastian Vettel only P4. That is a net P7 with his 3-place grid penalty. And if in a few moments' time, Martin, pole position changes around like that again, well, we'll all go to bed tonight with a smile on our faces.
And it could easily do so, Crofty. Half a second covers the lot of them that had just ran, all 6 of them.
I lost gear sync. Okay, Max, box and confirm, mate. Box and confirm.
We've heard him say that before, haven't we? I don't think it's certainly not a terminal issue. Daniel Ricciardo does a 31.2, far and away his quickest lap, and he was 6th out of those 6 that just ran.
Yeah. And I can tell you Nico Rosberg has put in a 32.2 for the first sector. That is now the best overall first sector time. Because Verstappen goes 3rd fastest overall. Raikkonen, though, it's possible that Kimi Raikkonen could do this. He goes P2 as Nico Rosberg extends his advantage out in front on this particular lap. So it's Hamilton from Raikkonen, and Rosberg now fighting his way through the final chicane. Hamilton is also up by a 1/10 of a second as well. It's going to be nip and tuck here. Can Rosberg get provisional pole? He can. Lost a little bit of time through the chicane. Can Hamilton now go back onto provisional pole? Round the final corner he comes, the winner of the last 2 Japanese Grand Prix, and he's not got pole position today. We ride on board with Sebastian Vettel. He won't start pole. He's got a 3-place grid penalty, but how far can he get that Ferrari up the grid? His teammate currently on the 2nd row, and Sebastian Vettel would have been on that 2nd row with him. He's out qualified by Kimi Raikkonen, and he has to take another 3 places of pain. It's a Mercedes lockout for the 10th time in 2016. It is Rosberg, the championship leader, on pole at Suzuka.